But right now, we are joined by Shaka, Hislop and Hutchison. They'll be wading in on the first game that we'll be talking about today, which is Liverpool against West Brom. It finished 1-1. Liverpool had the chance to go 5 points clear at the top of the table. You can see the shots on goal, many chances created, but big saves from both goalkeepers in this game and lots to get into, starting with Stevie Nicol. A big Sam masterclass, some would say.
Well, listen, if sticking 10 men behind the ball is a masterclass, then yes. But that's really what it was. And we knew how this game was going to pan out. We knew that they were going to put men behind the ball. And then after that, it was, can Liverpool get ahead and then forge further ahead and score more goals? Or will they be tough and resilient and make challenges and maybe cause Liverpool problems on the break? Now, that's how we all saw the game. That's how we all figured it was going to go. Unfortunately for Liverpool, it went the other way. You know, they did score, they did get ahead, but after that, they really didn't put the keeper under too much pressure, to be honest. Just a lot of balls in the box and a lot of scrapping in the box. And then, of course, they get done with the sucker punch. Actually could have lost two. Alisson made a great save when it was still 1-0. And so they end up losing 2 points. So the way it panned out, the draw, isn't a surprise. It's just a surprise that they never won by 4 or 5.
Well, afterwards, Don, Klopp did say that they were playing against a 6-4 formation, but surely he knew this is how it was going to go against this side.
And was never going to go to Anfield, even though he's been there before with Palace and won many years ago. But he was never going to go there with this West Brom side and open up and try and, you know, play the Liverpool way, if you like, at Anfield. Otherwise, they would have got done 6 or 7. So that's the system that Jurgen Klopp would have knew his men were coming up against. They needed to be patient. They got the first goal after 12 minutes. You then thought it was going to be, you know, an easy scoreline, an easy victory, no stress, no drama. But West Brom hung in there. They stayed in the game. They got past half time. They got to the hour mark. They started to pose Liverpool a threat. Then once Matip went off and Reece Williams come on, no fault of the youngster, they just looked a little bit creaky towards the end. And West Brom were forcing corner after corner after corner. And watching the game, it was one of them movies that you've seen before. And you just thought, West Brom are going to nick something here. And they did. And it was a good point for them. But, you know, it was very negative. But I don't blame them whatsoever playing that style against Liverpool.
Shaka, yeah, as Don just mentioned, corner after corner, Klopp says that they gave far too many corners away in this game, but there seemed to be such a drop-off in the second half from them. Do you think that they expected to just see this through and get the 3 points, and that's why we did see that?
Yeah, it's tough to see exactly what Liverpool were expecting in the second half. Given what you saw from West Brom in the first, where they didn't even bother to leave a man up and it was basically just camped in West Brom's half. And I question whether Liverpool expected more of the same and West Brom just to hope for a mistake. But in the second half, they actually left a man up top, so they had an out ball, and Liverpool just didn't adjust and didn't adjust well enough to West Brom, putting them under a little bit of pressure, and I use that term very loosely. But then you come up against a big Sam team, you know they're going to be physical, you know they're going to be well versed from set pieces, and that's exactly what happened. Without being able to adjust to West Brom, maybe without the benefit of Klopp talking the team through at half-time what changes need to be made and how they need to adjust, on the fly the players just couldn't figure it out. And West Brom knew what they were doing, kept themselves in the game, and then got the reward of that they were hoping from a set piece. Typical Big Sam.
Typical Big Sam. But what about the front three today, Stevie, for Liverpool?
Exactly. You know, listen, we have applauded this front three, patted them on the back, said how brilliant they are, how they can produce something from nothing. And you know what? These are the sorts of games when you have to earn all that praise. You know, it's one thing to go and play in a big atmosphere against one of the big teams and you turn it on and it's razzle-dazzle. But when it comes down to nitty-gritty, Mane, Firmino and Salah, in my opinion, is the reason why Liverpool didn't win the game. Yes, Mane scored a goal, but after that, particularly Salah, who I think he dribbled at an opponent about 15 times and probably stood on it 4 or 5 and gave it away, wasn't at it. Bobby Firmino wasn't at it. So, you know, as I started with, if you're going to take all the praise, you better take the criticism, because with the amount of ball the rest of the team got, the 3 of them, in my opinion, it's up to them to produce. And today, they didn't produce.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.